Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching Sit Down. Heather Haynes is here with us. Growing Up Black is her brand new docuseries. Growing Up Black LA is what we're talking about right now. Heather, really nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm excellent. It is a pleasure to talk to you. And this is a fascinating docuseries. Folks get to see what it's like to grow up Black around the country. There's New York, there's New Orleans, Chicago's coming. And Los Angeles is a really fascinating city to do a documentary on. So what was it like putting this episode together?
Los Angeles by far has been one of my favorite episodes. I mean, I travel to Los Angeles all the time, but I never really meet any locals. So it was fun to talk to locals to get like the real Los Angeles experience. I got to talk to folks from Compton, Crenshaw, Inglewood. So it really gave me a unique experience on like what the Black experience is like growing up there.
And folks who check out the VH1 YouTube channel will get the real on LA, right? Because we know about Hollywood and all of that. Like, this is where stuff is actually going down. So what was most fascinating to you in terms of what you want to cover here?
Actually, my favorite storyline in this episode is about the decriminalization of marijuana. Talking to Chris and Charles Ball from the Ball Family Farms, they had a really interesting perspective about like being in the marijuana industry as Black professionals. That was like one of the biggest takeaways for me because right now a lot of Black people in jail for marijuana. So to hear their story was truly inspirational for sure.
I mean, it's pretty mind blowing when you think about it, right? For the smallest amounts of marijuana, people spend years in prison. And now here we are in 2021, whether it's cannabis, CBD, people are making a lot of money from that. So, what do you think people will take away from their stories specifically when they hear them speak?
I think people will be inspired and also like, no matter what happens to you throughout your life, there's always things you can overcome and success doesn't have like a time limit or age on it. So I think people will be motivated to no matter what's going on in your personal life, you can overcome it and achieve your goals.
That's a really beautiful message. And also just the evolution of LA, right? Because I know you hit on the riots in 92 and obviously what we saw with George Floyd. Racism is not a new issue for anybody to talk about or to protest about, but what was it like kind of connecting those two time periods together there?
It's crazy to see how history repeats itself for the good or for the worse. In 1992, I wasn't there obviously, but to hear all the stories and to see all the documentaries, and now flash forward to the 2021 George Floyd protests, it's kind of insane to me to see the parallels like among the two. But it also is inspiring to see that this time we are doing it louder. We're protesting like more, and change is starting to happen slowly but surely. So, we'll take what we can get and we'll just keep pushing.
Yeah, amen to all that. You mentioned the fact that you talked to the mayor of Compton. What were some of the interesting things you learned in that conversation?
Yeah, she's phenomenal. I love talking to my Black women mayors because it inspires Black girls like me to one day, become mayor. But Mayor Aja Brown was truly a great gift to have her perspective because like she mentioned in her interview, when you hear about Compton, all you hear is rap music, straight out of Compton. So to hear her perspective on how she uses rap music, how she uses gangs to bring the city together for a more positive way, then that was dope too.
I think it's pretty awesome that you will be able to inspire people just like the women that you're talking about here. So who are some folks that inspired you along the way to do your thing and just make you the person you are today?
I would say my mother for sure. My mother and my father, my parents, they instilled a lot of my moral values in me to not, be afraid of anyone or anything and to go after my goals. And that's what I'm doing. Every time I make a Growing Up Black, they sit down and watch it on YouTube together and they're so excited and so proud of me. So that's my biggest takeaway, to make them proud.
That's really beautiful. How long did it take from the conception of all this to the reality of starting to make these episodes? How long are we talking here?
Literally, like this is in the height of the Black Lives Matter movement when every company was trying to find something to do to respond to what was going on outside. And I pitched this idea maybe like in September and we shot it at the end of that month. And it was during the height of the pandemic as well. So it was a lot of hurdles to overcome, but we made it happen.
That's really awesome. I think what's also cool is that VH1 has a huge platform, but to be on YouTube and be digital, right? Like I'm in the digital world, you're hitting potentially hundreds of thousands, millions of people. What's it like for you to think about those numbers as opposed to just like broadcast TV where you're only going to hit some folks who are just happen to be watching at that point?
It's crazy. My favorite thing to do is to read the YouTube comments. Because like at least with YouTube, you can literally see how people are receiving your content like immediately. I love to read their opinions and see what they have to say. So it really is, it's humbling, but it really is motivational as well.
How difficult was it to compartmentalize everything into one 30-minute episode? Because this could go on for hours talking about LA, right?
Yes, I want to do growing up like every single city. I want to do growing up like international. Like I honestly feel like we have something really great going here. So hopefully we can keep this going. 30 minutes. Honestly, I have so much extra content. This literally can be going on forever.
What do you hope people take away, whether it's this episode or just the series in general? What are the biggest points you want to make with your art here?
The biggest point is that everyone's story is valuable, like whether you're a celebrity, whether you're a kid growing up in school, whether you're a homeless man on the street, everyone has a story to tell. And that's my hope, to tell as many of these stories as I can. And I want people to see that everyone's story and journey is unique, but they're all meaningful at the same time.
Well, Heather, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Why don't you let everybody know where they can check out your great work?
Thank you. Growing Up Black is on VH1's YouTube channel. Check it out.
All right, that's Heather. I'm DJ. We'll see you next time here on The Sit Down.